Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. Krista here. In this video, we are going to continue with my spring switching of the covers. And this is my everyday carry. Personal Filofax. It's a vintage Filofax, and I believe the name of this one is called a Richmond, and it's pretty old. I said I'm gonna write down the details of these Filofaxes I've been collecting and make some little cards about each of them, but I get a lot of the information from the Philo Wiki about each of these covers. So the Richmond cover, also it was in production for about 2 years, 1996 to 1998. It came in a variety of sizes. I have the personal size. It's grained leather, so you can see, and this color is burgundy, and it has a stiffening material in it. So the cover is pretty stiff. This is not like a supple leather like my Winchester. It clearly has something in here that's keeping it hard. So, and as far as the flattability, you can see, and I have this thing pretty stuffed. These are 23 millimeter rings. And I got a lot of stuff in here. She's a chunk. And this is what it looks like on the side. I've been really into my Muji pins lately, so I've been clipping them everywhere. This is a paper clip, binder clip. Black, red, and blue is tucked into the pockets in the back that I don't use. But anyway, so we're just gonna transfer covers. I have a few things that I want to update. I made some new dashboards with thicker vellum that I found, so we'll put some of that in there. I want to reorg a couple sections, and then I was debating what cover I was going to go into. It was either the original cover, which I like, but I feel like I'm wanting to break this Malden in some more. I don't love the way this feels. It feels very different than my pocket Malden, but I do want to give it some use so that it can start to do the things that I hope it will do. So I'm going to jump back into the Malden and see if I can stay in it for at least a month or so. But I think it's going to be the Malden. And then maybe when we're in the height of summer, I'll switch over to this one. I also have this one. This is another vintage Filofax, which I just learned the name of it. And I learned the name of it on Reddit. And it is a model called the Lincoln. So a Filofax Lincoln. And it was produced between 1990 and 1992. And you can see what it looks like. And then it has the slip pocket in the back. I really like this one. I was originally going to resell it because I was like, I can't find any information on it. Is it really a real Filofax? I don't know. I was having all these issues, but you know, the people on the Reddit came through, and I really like these older Filofaxes because they're very thin. There's not a lot of material compared to the newer ones. You see how much thicker this is? So it feels really wonderful in the hand. But right now I keep this as a reference. So this is where I store all of the inserts. These are the completed weeklies from work. And then I have this filing cabinet, which I'm actually going to bring into my everyday carry. And yeah, and then it has these really nice vintage tabs, which I think I may use some of these tabs in my new setup. So I have 2 sets of these filing cabinet A through Z's because they came in 2 different Filofaxes that I got. So I'll leave one in here and then I'll take this one out. And I may even bring the map in. I may even bring this in. So we'll see where I end up, but I'm going to be taking some inserts out of my reference binder, which is just a place where I hold inserts, and paper, and then redo this. So first things first, let's just disassemble this and get into it. So take out all the pins, and I'm probably going to speed up this video so that we can get into it. Not going to do a flip right now, but towards the end we'll flip through so you can see what I have in here, what's staying, what's coming out. But I love that I have different covers to switch into. I don't do it like often. I feel like staying in a cover for a month at least is good. I could probably stay in a cover for longer than that. But I want to give all of my covers some love. So I am doing my best to circulate them. But this one was good. The rings are a little bit misaligned, but they don't bother me that much. And it was, yeah. But this is a good one. It's burgundy. I wish it was black. I still need to find a black vintage Filofax so that I can have options. But this one is such a cutie, and again, it's stiff, so it's always gonna look this good. And of course nothing fits in the pin loop, so we gave that up. But we're gonna put this one away. Yay! And now we are going to get our Malden set up. This Malden is a new Malden, so it has the elasticated pin loop. I've been trying to, train it by putting a big fat pin in there. And then I've been trying to train it by folding it. So if this bothers you, so sorry. But I do roll my leathers because I like to see all of the character in it. This is a vintage map of the United States that came in one of my Maldens, one of my vintage Filofaxes. I think I'll see if I have space. I have so many of these little today things. And then this is the dashboard for one of them, which I'm probably going to use this one because this one is pretty beat up. But let's get in here. So one of the things that I want to do is definitely put in a filing cabinet because I love lists, and my lists are starting to get out of control in my planner, and I want an easier way to get to them. So I figure I can, let me bring you down, use these A through Z's that came in one of the vintage Filofaxes and use that as like a filing cabinet for all of my lists, especially the lists that are more collection based, lists that I'm not updating all the time. But we'll see. I'm going to give that a shot this time. I don't need the address tabs, but let's see. Financial, yes. Information? What is information? What would we use information for? Projects, yes. Notes, yes. Diary? I like the idea of having a diary for a brain dump. I'm just going to put all of these in here and let's just see what happens. See if I can make them work. I think the addresses, I wouldn't use as addresses. I would just have some pages in here, like a list of people that I want to mail things to, and use it as like, oh yeah, I need to mail things to people. This is some grid paper that I got off of Amazon, and I will put a couple sheets in here. And this isn't the exact size of the Filofax, so trimming them down so that it's not like covering up stuff is ideal. So let's do a little trim so that I literally have no space for any of this, friends. Like none. Like, what are you doing, Krista? Like, like, what are you doing, honey? Honey. So I'm just going to use this as a template. These are some dashboards that I made, and I'm just going to cut a few sheets of paper just so I have it ready to go. I could have just used some plotter paper that I already have, but yeah. Alright, so we have a few sheets of paper to put in this address section, and that's great. So that's one. Now let's go back to what we had here. This is a pretty beat up dashboard, so I am going to use, where's that one that I just took out of the planner? It's clear, so probably not going to be able to find it. Oh, here we go. This one is a little thicker. I mean, this is vintage, so it's like beat up, but it is thicker than this little piece that came with it. So I'm gonna just pop that in the front. And these were just some reminders of what I wanted to do. Kind of like, I don't even know if, yeah. And this is pretty old, but we're gonna still keep it and see if we can use it next time. So I have that. I still love this, but I reprinted it just to give you, so I reprinted all my dashboards. And this paper is twice as thick as, so this one is nice. I like the way this one feels, but this one is thicker. I don't know if you can, you're not gonna be able to tell, but you gotta trust me. This one is thicker. So I am going to hole punch some of these. Actually, I'm gonna do a bunch of them together just so that we can expedite. And I'm using this hole punch, hopefully. Oh man, did I mess it up? No, I think I'm okay. I usually test the settings on the hole punch before I start punching stuff. It's too late now. We're in here like swimwear. We're all in. So these are punched. So now I'm just gonna replace this because I really like this thing. I got it off of Pinterest, so that is done. And then let's just get our things back in here. I just had this inbox thing in here, and I may end up taking that out. And then I had a lot of these lists in here that I am going to put everything back, and then we'll start reorganizing. Okay, let's just review what I've done so far because I feel like I am in messy land. So moving back into my Malden, so far this is what I have in here. I have lots more to put back in, but this is what it's looking like. I decided to ditch, where are they? These that I've been using. So these have just been the Filofax inserts or dividers. They've been good. I'm just gonna store them in my storage binder. And then I reprinted all of my vellums because these are thinner, so I have some thicker ones in here. And then, so you can see they are thicker. And then I'm using the vintage Filofax dividers that came in one of my vintage Filofaxes, and I'm trying to make the labels work. So diary is where I have my calendar. This should not be here. Well, this can stay here. So diary is for the calendar. We still clearly have some more rearranging to do. So dates, you know, any documentation of events goes into the diary section. So I have the monthlies, I have the weeklies, I have my Ollie clip on the current week, and then it takes me to my dailies. So that works. And then in the notes section, I just have this vellum, and then I have notes. I still have to put more notes in here. And then we go to the project section. Right now I just have my wardrobe planning that I am attempting to do. I think I also need to have, sometimes a project doesn't need a whole project folder. It just needs some sheets of paper. So I'm gonna just throw in some of these Hobonichi Weeks papers that I have, and just so I have some in the project section, just in case I want to jot down some other ideas as they come up. And then I have this image I got from Unsplash, and then this is the information tab. This is where I'm having all my trackers. Like, I can take this off because we're done. And yay. And I can put that May one on, which, girls, I have no idea where it is because it's in this mess of a, oh, found it. So I can put, what I'm gonna do this time is I'm just gonna put the May, I have May and June, and I'll just put them right on top of each other so that when I peel it off next time, I can be ready for June. So all I did was that, and then I took a little dot, one of these dots, and popped it in here. Which color do I want? I'm gonna go with brown. It looks cute. And it's not doing anything, it's just decor. And that's it. And I will pop one at the bottom as well, just to kind of keep it there. So we have that. Trackers, trackers, trackers. YouTube is a tracker. I am going to put these planning trigger lists also in this area. Well, maybe I'll do this. No. I will put the trigger list in the projects area because it might spark some ideas. Have that, project and projects, and I need to add a couple more trackers. This is a book tracker. sticker that I got from Planned by Jaisla. So I will put this Did I do all my trackers? We'll put this right here. And actually, no. Let's put this in the filing cabinet because this is not something I'm going to be touching every day. So let's just put it in the filing cabinet. Books to make, books to read. And that way, I know that that list lives there. Okay, now I have to add back in a couple things for the house. So like this is my list for my house of all the projects that I want to get done at some point. I don't know why I'm keeping this cherry. That is cute, yes. And then I have home inventory lists. So all of this is home stuff, but I can put, I'm gonna keep all the home stuff together. I keep feeling like that's the right thing to do. That way I'm not like looking for anything home related. Home is its own little section. So this is home. Home is all of this. Financials, we need to put the financials back, which we have over here. Okay, so we have my spending categories, which I need to figure out why. Hopefully you can see this. My chair is creaking because it's old. Tax prep. And these are just some sheets. This is my business finances, so keep that personal. And then these are some no spin trackers and things. Okay, so that's the financial stuff. I think we're good. The only thing that I don't have in here is in the notes section, I think is where I'm gonna have to put, no, I have my self-care stuff. So that's all of this. So I think I am going to add that also there. Self-care is a project. Self-care Sunday. And then I have all of these notes for self-care. I think I'm gonna put all of these notes in the notes section, even though they are, that's self-care, that's self-care. Nope, I'm gonna keep this all together because this is all health notes and goals. So that's the project. I am my own project, okay? Just me. And this is my Hobonichi cut up. I regret doing that. I should have just used other paper. There was no need to cut up my Hobonichi. And then I'll have that be separated by these vellums. So I know when I come to the project section, all of my self-care stuff is here. The only thing missing is my self-care notebook, but because I'm back in the Malden, I don't think I need to, I don't think I need to put this physically in here. I can just I can just put it in the back pocket. I had to do this because I was in a different binder. And this is my feelings wheel, and these are my notes from my therapist. So I'll put that back there. And I think I got everything in here. The only thing that I'm missing is I have to rewrite some of my lists. So I think I'm gonna do that now so I can be done with this. My notes. These are things I need to do for New York. Heading there tomorrow, actually. Hence why I'm trying to organize myself so that I don't feel cluttered. All right, so I think I'm in a good enough place, and then I can take all of these other inserts and things and put them back. But I do need to have more lists. Pen tests, philosophy books to read. What is this? I just overlooked this. Okay. This is some work stuff that needs to go in my new work binder. I don't need to put this here. And then stationery spin. Okay, that was some other stuff I wanted to do. So these are philosophy books, pen tests. So I'm gonna put this in my filing cabinet under P for pen tests. And then books to read will go under B. Hopefully I won't have to go in this filing cabinet too often, except to just reference, but it's mainly functioning like a place for collections. So I guess that's how I'm organizing it in my mind. And because I cannot have to pop out like this every single time, that's kind of annoying. So philosophy books to read. Now, should I put it under books to read? I'm gonna put it under books to read because even though it's philosophy books, it's still books to read. and I will put it under books to read because I will remember it there. All right, I think I have too much stuff in this planner. So let's take a quick assessment because I do not want to be dealing with this. And I still wanted to add a few more things. I feel like I'm a 30 millimeter girl. I like big rings and things. All right. That's where we are. So the other thing I wanted to try is I'm going to rewrite some of these lists for sure because I don't want to miss these lists. I have to rewrite some of these lists, and I will do that right now. Before I do that, I don't want to miss out on that is annoying. That is annoying to say the very least. Will this be able to sit without? Nope. Nope. So I think I may have to institute this. So I have my Or can I put them in here? I'm gonna forget about them. For sure, forget about them. Let's just put them in there. And then okay. And page wax. Okay. Today is January. Okay, the other thing I wanted to do for finances is crazy. This should. What? Oh. Mistake. I wanted to start using these narrow size plotter inserts just so I can start using the narrow size and testing it out. So I have these little spending trackers that I'm gonna start using here, and let's just see how that goes. So I'm gonna pop this here, which it should go in the tracker section, but I think it goes better in this information, in this finance section. So let's just see how that works out. All right, I think I feel good about that. I think I feel good about that. All right, I'm going to rewrite these lists and then we are done here. done. And I don't think I can fit anything else in these rings. So let's just do a quick flip. Not a detail flip, but just a quick, this is what I've done. I've moved into the Malden. I've replaced my, what do you call this, vellums? I'm using these really nice vintage tabs from Filofax from the 90s. So my diary section is the calendar, the weeklies, the dailies. And then my notes section is exactly what that is, notes. And then projects is my self-care, because I am my own project. Wardrobe building is a project. I have a couple trigger lists in here to spur on other projects that I might want to note. This information section is where I'm keeping all of my trackers. So this is sticker release paper. I'm going to switch out these stickers and come up with another color scheme later. But we have May in here, trackers, trackers. And then we go to financial. And I'm experimenting with the plotter narrow size and just using the paper to see, because I really want to plotter narrow, but you know, can't do that right at this minute, or I will not do that at this minute. I want to try to wait until Japan, but I'm just using this to make like a little finance log. So I have that in there. Spending categories. This is my finance section. Business finances. More finances. And then we get to the home section where I have all of my house projects. Oh no, this should go in the wardrobe section. Let's just do a quick switcheroo since we're in here. I will put that right at the beginning. That way it reminds me of what's inside the folder. Financial, and then an address, I've just put the house stuff because I live at this address. And then I'm also going to put like some notes of things that I need to mail to people. But the biggest change to this, which I am so excited about, these are all of my house projects, by the way, is my new filing cabinet, which is this vintage A through Z. And here's where I'm putting all of my lists. Add to planner, books to read are in the A to B section. Nothing in the C section. EF, some notes about Filofax, fountain pens. H, HSA expenses. J is for my Japan trip when I start planning that. Nothing in K. M and N, Nintendo games. O and P. I have this in the P section because it's for printing. So these are like printing reminders. Planners, pen tests, nothing in this QR section just yet. And you see I have this stuff, so I'm gonna have to go through and take out some of these pages. Stationery shops, TN covers, nothing in UV. W is Wise Coffee Break printables, wish lists, and then nothing in Z. So I am really looking forward to adding more to this alphabet filing cabinet. So yeah, I just moved into the Malden, and let's just hope the leather softens up and some stuff happens to it over the next couple months. All right, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Bye.